Thank you. Welcome to Your Week with James Skrmetta. I, of course, am your humble host, James Skrmetta. This is the place to get everything that happened in your week. The show will be dropping on Wednesday nights. The show is making its triumphant return. We now have multi-million-dollar budgets. We have production crews. We've got everyone working on this show. So this show is set to be better than every iteration of this show, which has existed before. British Prime Minister Theresa May was named the worst Prime Minister in living history by savvy political correspondent Pam Anderson. I wouldn't put too much stock into this Theresa May, mostly on account of it being Pamela Anderson's opinion. It's never a good look for a political commentator when you're more famous for what went in your mouth than what comes out of it. Pakistani police arrested a Pakistani businessman last week for taking a nighttime drive with a very unusual animal in his backseat, his pet lion. This all happened in the southern port city of Karachi, and it's actually not too rare to see giant jungle cats as pets of these Pakistani businessmen. Really, this is just poor planning. I mean, if he does this next Wednesday, then no one is surprised to see a lion out and about on Pride Day. A tourist in British Columbia got quite the scare when a little girl got snatched up by a sea lion and dragged into the water. Let's take a look at the video.
He's like, I'm bigger than you.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, right.
It's a good thing the lion didn't actually eat the girl. I mean, then it would have just been hungry 10 minutes later. Marine scientists have warned the family that coming in contact with a seal lion can cause seal finger disease. It's a very rare disease caused by the bacteria inside of a seal's mouth. The disease is so rare that only one person in human history has ever contracted it. Heidi Klum. Phoenix, Arizona is currently on fire. Literally. Well, actually kind of double literally. Excess temperatures in the 120s. The 120s are causing major problems in Phoenix. So bad, in fact, that water parks are catching on fire. Locals are actually stunned to see this. It's kind of a phenomenon. They say the water park just catches on fire every day in the morning, and by the evening time, it just rises from the ashes. A Mexican farmer had a bit of a tragic end last weekend. He came home drunk from a bar and got into an aggressive fight with this pig. The pig, a 450-pound show pig, turned the tide on the farmer and eventually killed him, but not after hours and hours of torturing the man in his own house. What happened was the farmer came home, the pig pushed the farmer into a corner, and because of how intoxicated he wasn't able to lift the pig off of him. So the pig slowly began to eat the farmer alive, starting at his toes and working his way all the way to his scalp. The entire process took over 48 hours. And to make matters worse, the farmer's two young children, 1 2, 1 4, were in the house. They came to the rescue of the father, but the pig, with blood dripping out of its mouth, pinned the children into the corner and paralyzed them with fear, disallowing them to move at all. If the children tried to move whatsoever, the pig would turn its disgusting attention and bloodlust to the children, snapping at them and growling at them. After a while, the pig started to chomp on the bones of the farmer, starting with the toes, then the shins, then the knees, then the thighs. Then it would rest as its stomach was bigger and bigger with the skin and bones and blood and intestines and tendons and muscles of the farmer. The children forced to watch their 60-year-old father sit there and be devoured by this ghastly beast. Finally, the pig, working its way up to the torso, ate through the ribs, the heart, the liver, the kidneys, got up to the throat, ripped the farmer's throat out right there, and left the decapitated and mauled head staring at his children as the children screamed hours on end at watching their father being devoured by this pig. Finally, after the unquenchable thirst of this pig for male flesh and blood, once it was finally filled and they went to sleep, the children escaped, called the police. Police detectives arrived on the ghoulish scene, and all they could say when asked for questions was, That'll do, pig. That'll do. And finally, a Portland pop-up taco shop was forced to close because of cultural appropriation. Cook's Burrito owners Callie Wilgus and Elsie Connolly had a trip to Mexico. And on the trip to Mexico, they picked the brains of every single tortilla lady they could. When they came back to Portland, they used what they learned to open their own taco shop, where they made burritos and tacos and all these tortillas. The community became enraged and said that they were culturally appropriating, if that's even a word, the Mexican culture, and saying that they, as white women, were disallowing Mexican women to make money with their own culture. There was such a backlash on Yelp and in the community itself that the two owners shut down the store. Reviewers on Yelp even named the two owners culinary Nazis. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never been a fan of Nazi food myself. I mean, those guys, they burn everything.